Hello everyone, welcome to Zap-TV. I'm Dan Elzer, your co-host. This is April's Zap-TV. To get us kicked off and started, we talk about how we operate the system. If you haven't been on Zap-TV before, we're in a live interactive studio where you'll be able to ask questions, give comments, shout outs if you're sitting with a group of people watching the show. Just get your phones out, open your text app to 321-300-7759. Get that locked into your phone, 321-300-7759. And once you get locked in there, give us a shout out. Just say hi, tell us where you are, where you're watching the show from, and we can see who we're dealing with out there. So without any further delay, I want to get the Zap expert out here, my co-host Wayne Weaver. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good
Thanks,
to see
Dan.
you. We have a pretty cool show today, kind of a little bit different show. And I'm excited about getting into it.
Yeah, I love, we're going to change it up just a little bit.
And I hope you're going to like what we're doing because we're listening to the feedback we're getting. So we're doing a little bit of a change up for you today. We'll see what happens. But as always, we're going to start with our expert update segment. And I think you have a few things to share on what Emeryville did with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect timing. A couple good updates that happened that are kind of in direct relation to sellers and dealing with sellers and listings. So the first one, to let you guys know that your website, which we've talked a lot about, we should be in there updating our website. We actually can customize 2 additional pages. One is buy a home, one is sell a home. So we can actually get into, have 2 additional pages, a little bit more customization, and they can be customized to how we work with either buyers or, in this case, sellers.
So we can have a
today.
Customized listing-based website.
Correct.
And we're going to get into that in real detail in today's show.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, we'll get in there, show you where it is and everything at that time. So the second one, we can actually send listing activity emails to our listing clients. We would just enter them into Zap, attach their listing, and I'll show you that real quick, but attach their listing, and then we could click a button and it would actually send them a weekly email on any activity that you've recorded in Zap, whether it's a listing appointment, questions asked, things like that.
So that means basically if I'm a listing agent, you're telling me that if I get my seller signed up on that, it's going to do some of the follow-up work that I'm supposed to be doing.
At least another contact from you saying this is what happened, this is some of the activity that was recorded in Zap. Yeah, absolutely.
Folks, that's huge. So, if you are a listing agent like I was, you fear sometimes that phone call coming at you going, hey, what's going on? If my digital assistant, if my Zap can turn around and on a weekly basis, you said?
Yes.
On a weekly basis be touching my seller, my personal contact can maybe back off a little more. And wow, they're going to be thrilled. That is a great update.
Just another piece.
So it's a great update.
Yeah, so I'm going to get in real quick and just show you the start of that. Just by clicking on any name. So Lynn is a seller that I am working with. So just as an example, if I just hit this business, or I can scroll down the tab, but if I hit this business, this just scrolls down to any showing appointments, listing appointments, any of that information. But we get to this page, and there's actually a page for a listing. So what I can do is add a listing right here. So I'll go in, search, essentially we search the MLS. So I'm going to search 123 Main Street. Yes, that is Lynn's home that I have listed. And then we can just toggle on a switch that says, send Lynn an email every week that says, the activity, the listing appointments, that or showing appointments that I've set up in Zap for her property. So again, just a neat little thing, and just a refresher, if you have logged into Zap today, great. If you haven't yet, and you should now, there will be a message in the lower right-hand corner from Joe in California, sort of giving a good explanation on that. But just wanted to kind of make sure you guys knew that that was the 2 newest updates that, especially what we're going to talk about today.
That is awesome. Okay, Clayton, Prairie Village, Kansas. Little shout out.
Nice. Very
How you doing, Clayton? Cool. So come on back to us, and the group out there in Emeryville, they're always looking to help us to get us updated.
Absolutely.
But that seller web page is going to be huge. Like I said, we're going to dig into that. That's going to be huge. Okay, so our theme for today, a little different. Like we said, we hear the feedback when we're out in the road and talking to people, plus people that send in to us the feedback. So today's theme is getting ready for a successful selling season. And what we're looking at is listings, right?
Correct.
So a lot of people say, hey, Wayne, Zap is a buyer tool, and you disagree with that.
Yes. Yeah, it's, there's so many tools that we can access this. It can certainly be part of our listing presentation to show how we work different. I mean, there's so many tools we can use that are very attractive to sellers, potential sellers. So, and we'll talk about some of them today.
Okay, so we're going to get more into leveraging the system for you to be proactive. Instead of reactive, being proactive, and using the actual, like Wayne just said, the system and the tools to get listings. Very few agents identify as a listing-centric agent. Most identify buyer-centric. If I can get and use the power of Zap to be ahead of my competition on listings, I mean, my 2018 will be through the roof.
Yes.
So with that, since we're focused on that, and like I said, we're going to change this up a little bit. Our first segment, the day in the life, or second segment, day in the life of a Zap agent, how we should be utilizing this. We normally will focus on contacts.
Yep.
I mean, multiple times. If you've been on Zap-TV, multiple times we go, okay, got to put gas in the machine. If you don't put gas in the car, it's not going to run. The contacts are your gas. You don't know what they're doing. We have preached contacts, but what we heard, and you shared with me also, is that people are going, okay, that's nice, Wayne, that we want to have contacts in there, but some people are feeling a little off, a little uncertain about getting them in. So our first day in the life segment is going to be converting opportunity into contacts. I mean, that's kind of what we heard from people, right?
Yeah, it's I can bulk upload and I can add these people or that, but then there's people that we don't want you to. We want to give you the tools to feel comfortable, to meet someone and then get them into Zap, no matter who you meet.
So what Wayne came to me and said was, because my wheelhouse is technique, strategies, his is technology and leveraging Zap. So he came to me and said, Dan, I want to throw some curveballs at you today. So I'm going to share with you some technique to convert that opportunity. Please take some notes. This is being proactive. Now, he's going to throw them at me. I'm kind of putting myself out. This is kind of role playing in front of the class. He's going to throw some curveballs at me. I'm going to try to give you some technique, and then we're going to turn around as we get to the end of the show, show you exactly the keystrokes on how to do that. So, converting opportunities to contacts, give me a scenario that you would want me to work through to get somebody to want to be in Zap.
So if I met, I guess what I would call a stranger, someone at the store, someone at an open house.
So someone I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. You walk in,
Yeah.
and I want to get you in my Zap.
Correct.
So how do I do it in a proactive way? Okay, so we got to think about value, guys, value proposition, what Zap can do. So our best bet is to get them on our app, right? So we can monitor their score, see what they're doing.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to get someone, I'm at the grocery store. Well, the first thing, and if you're not doing this, it's like an open sign and a closed sign on a retail shop. You should have career apparel on. Minimally, a name badge. When you are open, you've got it on. When you are closed, you take it off. I mean, that is what our job's all about. You can walk past 100 people that need real estate services and they'll never engage you because they don't even know that you're in the business. So the first thing, I'm covered with my logo, I'm covered with my brand, so people know I'm a real estate agent. So we engage, I talk to you, you see I'm in real estate, and we've all been there, where the person will say, hey, so how's things going or what's going on? I always want to share positive information that the market is pretty hot, a lot of good things are happening, but I want to get to him wanting to be in Zap, so I'm going to use a value proposition here of this. So Wayne, it appears that you're really interested in real estate. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Would there be any value to you to be able to have instant access to everything that's going on in the marketplace without having to go through a site like Zillow or go find a real estate agent, that 24/7 you'd be able to just know what's going on? Is that something that would be of value to you?
Sounds like it's something I would like.
Okay, now he's saying yes, they could say no.
Yeah.
I mean, reality, most people say yes to that. They might ask, well, what do you mean? I'm going, no, I've got a solution for you that would give you the ability to do it all on your own without having to go through a special website. No one's going to hound you. And if he says yes, now there's only a couple things I need to do. For them to be in Zap, I got to minimally have your name and your email address.
Yeah.
Now here's where we get in trouble. Many an agent will go, well, here's my card. Send me an email or give me a call or something. That's passive. That card could go right in that pocket. He takes the shirt home, takes it off, washes it, and goes, oh shoot, what was that guy's name?
Yeah.
That's where we mess up in the business. I want to be proactive. So he just said yes. I've offered you a value. You said yes. So I'm going to simply say, I just simply need your name, your email address, and then if you can give me your mobile number, I can text
you.
the app to you. Everybody likes being text. Now I got about a 50-50 chance, 31 years of doing this, I got about a 50-50 chance that you're going to give me your number.
Yeah.
But if I don't ask, I'll never get it. So that's how I would approach somebody that was a stranger. I would simply do the value proposition of, would you see any value in, or would you see a benefit of having? And if they say yes, then they'll convert pretty simply at that point.
Yeah, so certainly a lot better than walking up, I have this awesome app, give me your number, I'll send it to you, and someone's just backing up going, whoa, 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 but you're much more attractive to me to hear you throwing value at it.
Versus
and to me almost going, well, of course I want it, so cool.
Who would not want that? Okay, so that was an easier one. Give me another one.
So past clients.
Okay, past clients. Now, you guys know that the number one source of business is our past clients. It's been that way. The buyer-seller survey from NAR has been that way forever. But we also are the worst at following up. Your worst day in real estate is when you find out a past client or a friend or somebody buys a house and then looks at you and goes, oh God, what?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, what? I just bought a house. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
I forgot. That's your worst day in real estate. If you haven't had it happen, congrats.
Yeah.
So, past client. Well, the first thing that I always find when I work with agents is they don't know how to reach out to the client. There's a story out there that a past client wrote about how their insurance agent follows up with them every year, checking on their well-being and their needs for insurance. But the real estate agent doesn't. They spent about $2,000 with the life insurance agent and spent $300,000 with the real estate agent. And said, what happened? Where are you? Where'd you go? I thought we were friends and you disappeared. So we know they want us to follow up. So I'm going to give you some verbiage that's real simple. After going through years and years of trying to come up with a really cool, creative way to say, hey, hi, what's going on? I just decided to be honest. So you're my past client. Let's give this a whirl. I call you, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Wayne?
Yes.
Hey, this is Dan with Better Homes and Gardens. I'm just doing my job following up with you to see how things are. Mm-hmm. That's what I started to say. I'm just doing my job following up with you. How can he get mad at that? And think of the footing I just put myself on. I'm not calling to chit chat. I'm not calling just because I think that we ran into each other I saw the other day in the store. No, I'm doing my job following up.
A lot of credibility there. So.
Yes. So now we talk about, then the categories I get into, how's the house? How's the family? How are things going? And then I want you on my app. So I'm going to use the same kind of approach I think that I did with the stranger. I might say something like this. Wayne, I don't know if you've ever had any curiosity about what's going on around your neighborhood, but I got this new app that can keep you informed. Would you see any value in being able to search your marketplace 24/7 without any hassle?
Yes, I usually check to see what's happening if I'm driving by a sign.
I don't even like what I said. I mean, it was okay, but I think I could be better than that. Wayne, have you ever, you kind of hit it. Have you ever wondered what happened down the street with a property that you saw go for sale and then sold, and you're like, man, what did that do? Has that ever been an interest to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Would there be any value in you having an app that you could have access to 24/7 without the hassle of going through me or some other agent or even going on like Zillow or anything like that? Would that be a value?
That'd be cool.
So I would approach it that way. So now I'm coming back where, and Wayne said this to me off camera, when we are working with a past customer trying to get them into Zap, when we were talking through this, he said, it gives you a great opportunity to update
Update their contact information.
I mean,
make sure you have the right email, the right phone number. Is this still your, contact information?
So I'm going to say, let me make sure I've got the right information. I'll need your mobile number so I can text you the app, and I update the information, get that app text out. I go and I put them in, if they're not already, into Zap. Give me another one.
Probably the most frustrating one of whether it's an agent or me seeing all the agents, friends. What I don't want to put a friend in there. Why would I put a friend in there?
Okay, friends. Now that is a tough one. Friends know all about us. They know about our background. They know what's good. They know what's bad. Sometimes they pick on us or they'll make fun of us if we're being a little salesy. So I can see the resistance. But again, your worst day of your real estate career is when your friend buys a house or sells a house without you. Okay, so got my friend. Now, here's what I would do. I'd do a kind of a takeaway close. I'm going to do a kind of a reverse, kind of tease him into wanting it. So I'm sitting with my friend. We're talking about things. He asks how business is going, and I'm going to say, man, it's killer, man. But what's even better is I've got this new system called Zap, and what it's allowed me to do is I am able to give all of my clients, whether they're past clients or potential clients, a personalized app where they can search everything that's going on. If a house went for sale or sold, they can see what's going on, and they can do it without any hassle 24/7. I mean, they're just loving this stuff because they know exactly what's going on. Guys, I'm going to try to do it in a takeaway manner. Now, my hope is I got a 50% chance that this guy's going to go, well, can I get it?
I was on the verge of saying, send it to me or let me have it. How do I get it?
So if he doesn't ask for it, then it's going to be an afterthought. When I'm all done talking about it, I'm going, well, wait a minute. Is that something that you'd like to have?
Yeah,
and I'm just going to ask, is that something you'd like to have? And he goes, yeah, can I get it too? Boom. Hey, I got your phone number. Let me get you into the system. I'll get it right over to you, and you can start searching. So now, what am I forgetting when it comes to these conversions and getting them into Zap?
So, I mean, getting them in there, analyzing them, share the app, website, I love it. The next logical piece is a follow-up plan.
If you've been to Zap-TV, how many times have you heard us talk about follow-up plans? Now let me just, again, I'm the agent right now. I just received these opportunities. I had a stranger, I've got a past client that I did it with, I've got a friend that I just did it with. So I go to my Zap, I get them put in. And with a couple keystrokes, I can, and a few extra minutes, a little bit of discipline, I can add a follow-up plan. Now if it's a past client, maybe I'll do a 12-month, every other month contact. Some of them, there's so much content in there. Some of them are already pre-made. I can adjust some. But then the other contacts, on the other side of it, I might make personal.
Yeah.
That will force me to either make that phone call or to actually type a quick 2-line email for me to send out to them. So the follow-up plan is simply a discipline of once I get them in there to put that in, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's sort of additional touch points.
What does it do for the agent? If the agent puts them in there, how does that help them if they were disciplined enough to put all that stuff in?
They're going to have more contacts. They're going to be able to analyze scores and know what people are doing and reach out to them prior to them those folks finding another agent.
Bingo.
You will have the opportunity to reach out to them when they're still like, okay, we're almost. You could reach out to them at that point before they get to the point and they, just find an agent. It could be back to you. Could be just an agent they see at an open house this weekend.
Let me ask you this. How often have you worked with clients out there, agents, and you've talked about, we have to stay in touch. It's the number one thing that we're supposed to do. It's where the most business comes from. And you've had an agent say, I don't have the time to do that. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah, I hear it a lot. So I'm too busy. I want folks that are buying today. So why wouldn't we all? But it's just not the way our consumers are working.
I put Wayne in here. How long does it take me to assign and edit up a follow-up plan?
I mean, if I have a follow-up plan, I can attach it to a closed client or a friend. If I have those follow-up plans, I can attach it in 30 seconds.
Bingo. And if I had to edit one, I might spend 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how much you do with it. So
listen carefully, folks. We know the number one source of business comes from these people, our circle, our sphere, our past clients, our friends. But if we don't stay in touch with them, they forget who we are. A couple extra minutes when I put them in can put me on the way to having more transactions, as you said,
Absolutely.
being able to monitor that, but it will take away stress guilt and save time.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
I want the system to do the work for me and help me stay in touch with all of these people. I'm not going to stress about it.
Okay, hang on.
Let the system help you.
I knew this would happen. We got two people just said, how do we do, can you give us step-by-step? And the answer is yes. We're going to give you some step-by-steps towards the end on where, not only where the contact is again, but where those websites are again, and also the follow-up plans. We will get that to you.
Where those are.
But I want to get you through some more content, some more opportunities here. Second part of Day in the Life you came up with, it was watched homes. And we're calling it leveraging watched homes. So give them a quick definition of what is a watched home and what does it do for an agent?
Watched home, I can set up any contact in my database with their, pick out their address, and they will get a weekly email. Every week they'll get an email with with whatever happened in the circle around their house.
So,
new listings or sold happened that week. They'll get an email once a week showing them this is what happened around you. Kind of if you're thinking about selling, keep an eye on this. So it's an awesome. I love it. It's valuable data we pull right from the MLS.
Can you determine the size when you first set them up?
Right now we set up a standard. They're actually prompted to customize it. They're going to go, hey, do you want some more customized data?
When you first go in though, can you decide it?
No. We set up a standard one,
Okay.
just keeping them all just in a circle, everything around them, and then they can go in and go, you know what? I want just 3 bedrooms. I want just this size. So
that's important to know.
They can tweak it after.
That's important to know from leveraging it. So again, he wants to throw some curveballs at me. So watched homes. As we've talked about before, this is very listing based. This is very
absolutely
looking for sellers. So give me throw a curveball. Which area you want me to work on?
So the first one's a natural for sale by owner. Like, how do I can't walk. I'm just like a client that isn't going to buy today. I can't knock on a for sale by owner door and go, here's the listing paperwork. Let's do it. We have to work on them.
Okay, so they take some time, whether you're using a direct approach or an assistance approach, you're going to end up with people who are not ready and they're going to give you the old, look, I'm not interested in listing, kind of leave me alone. So if I'm in that position and I come across you and let me think here. Okay, so you're a for sale by owner, which means he's representing himself, he's trying to get his home sold. Watch this. Okay, watched homes. I'm going to use it from an intel kind of a perspective. So Wayne, no, I can appreciate you want to sell your house on your own, and I respect that. But let me ask you a question. Since you are representing yourself, you kind of really need to know the intel of the marketplace around you. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up on it.
I was going to say, how well do you feel you're doing it, knowing in real time when there's new competition against you, or when something's sold that's actually making market value? How good are you at being on top of that in real time?
I'm probably not doing a very good job. So,
if there was a way for you to know in real time what was happening there, so every week you knew exactly what was going on, would that be of value to you as a for sale by owner?
I think it would.
Boom. Notice how I'm asking again, not feature dumping. I got to build the value proposition in his mind that he's like, okay, this is a tool that I want. Now you might have to troubleshoot. You're not listing me, are you? No, I'm not listing you. This has nothing to do with listing you.
Yeah.
But it's giving you the intel you need to make the right moves and to be informed to be the best for sale by owner you can be. Yes. Now, going back to follow-up plans though. My follow-up plan that I'm going to put for sale by owner, because they can convert in a matter of days. They can go from I'm never going to list to listed in a matter of days. So I'm not going to do a 6-month follow-up plan with them. My FSBO follow-up plan might be twice a week.
Yeah, probably more aggressive.
Yes, more aggressive. I got to come up with little one-liners, little quick things. Did you receive the information? Do you have any problem with deciphering the information you're receiving? Can I be of help? I can come up with some really good ones there that will keep me in front of that one. Okay, so I got them in there. Give me another one. Throw another.
How about expireds?
Okay, expireds. Okay, expireds are usually angry if they're motivated. Their house didn't sell. They're like, hey, now you come over here and talk to me. I'm going to take some time. I'm not listing right now. We get all that pushback. Puts us on our heels. We're kind of feeling in a position of weakness. Can we agree with that? So let's take the worst case scenario. So Wayne just blew me off. No, he doesn't want he doesn't want me to list his home. Maybe I ran into him, knocked on his door, but I'm live with him. So I'm gonna take the same kind of intel approach. Watch this. So Wayne, I respect that you want to take some time. I'm okay. I just want you to know I'm here for you. But let me ask you a question. Have you had any thoughts in your mind or any uncertainties about why exactly your home didn't sell the first time?
Yes, absolutely. We think about it every day.
So what I want to do is I want to get you informed so you can make better decisions next time around. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So again, you're not ready to list.
Right,
I
yeah.
respect that. But would you see any value in understanding and knowing what's going on around you? And by what I mean by that is people that come on the market, listings, people that sell, which set market value for you. If you were able to have that intel right to you without having to deal with an agent, you don't have to go to a website, you don't have to do anything. It would be emailed to you every week so you knew exactly what was going on. That way, when you're ready to get back on the market, you'll be so fully informed, you'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Would that be of value to you?
Well, sounds easier than me trying to keep up.
Now again, these don't always work.
Yeah.
But if I'm asking the right questions and he goes, would you do that for me? I mean, I'm not having to list with you, right? No, I'd be more than happy to do that. Again, name, phone number, and email address. I come back, I put them in, and I add a expired follow-up plan, which again, can't be months. This has to be weeks because they renew at a very fast rate.
Yeah, quicker than you think, or quicker than you think when they first talk to you.
So one more. We got time for one more. Throw one more at me, and then I'm going to switch it up on you.
We talked about them earlier, but I mean, past clients, they can be interested in.
Okay. Well, since watched homes are more about them from a listing perspective, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's think about this, folks. If I'm doing watched homes from a listing perspective, again, I call Wayne, doing my job following up, how are things going? And, let's do it this way. They just made an investment, maybe a year ago, 3 years ago. So you're sitting in a property that you paid for and made an investment. What if I approached it this way? Wayne, you've made the investment in this home. Would there be any value to you to be able to watch the market and see what has sold on a regular basis, come right to your email box, so you'll know exactly where you stand in the market from a value situation? Are you improving in value? Is it staying flat? Does any of that interest you?
Yeah, I usually try to keep an eye on the market.
If I was able to get that set up where you could see, the listings that would be competition if you'd ever think about selling, but the solds that show you is the price going up or down, was that something I could do for you?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And again, now I'm going to get his number, it's going to get his phone number, his past client. I'm going to recheck that I have the proper information, get him in there. Now he's going to go on a longer follow-up plan because he's my seller. I know 6, 7, 8 years is what it usually takes. So I'm going to put them on a longer follow-up plan. But just think if every single person you ever sold a house to was in Zap on a follow-up plan with watched homes.
Staying in very good contact with them. They won't forget you, and that's the usual issue.
So with all that, is there anything else I'm forgetting to do that I should be doing daily after I've done all this?
I mean, just analyze Zap score.
Bingo.
Because
everything they do is going to come back to you.
If they open up an email, their Zap score goes up. If they open up an email, do I have to reach out to them? No. But is it interesting when they open an email? Yeah. But at one time, they're going to open up an email and look at a couple of those houses. Okay, well, that's interesting. It's going to tell me when I need to, or inform, let me make the decision without them reaching out to me first. Like, they're not going to have to call me and say, hey, we're thinking about it. We can kind of have the heads up.
Okay, we got a really good question here. Someone asked, okay, if we're going to do this, I'm summarizing, it's kind of long, are we going to send them just one way, either through the app or through the email? How will we send them the app that we're using? Will we text it through the app or send an email, or should I do both, is what they're asking. So how would you approach
when we
that?
talk about that, sharing the consumer-facing app so they can just generally look for houses, not actively or just passively, we can either email or text it.
Right.
And I always just kind of pick you and say, okay, you're more of an email person. Okay, I'll send it. But so many people that just love a text. And that's the easiest way because they get the text on their phone. We're trying to get an app on their phone. So I love the text, but you kind of do have to analyze your person.
So you're going to determine what you feel is going to be the best communication way.
Yeah, I don't want to text them if they...
Now they're kind of getting at, should I do both to make sure they get it?
Now, I would do one and maybe follow up I mean, you'll know it. Well, first of all, you're going to know if they download it. You'll know. You'll know if they get it and log in, which is the key, kind of getting them to log in, and then they're in your Zap Score radar at that point. So, and if it goes quiet for a week, then reach out and
you had a really good point there that we can do a follow-up with that. Think about that, folks. If he said, yeah, I want that, and I sent it via one-way text, and I don't see any engagement, that's a perfect reason for me to make that personal touch. Now, I'm not going to go, hey, Wayne, I see you haven't used the app I sent you yet. No. I'm going to do it from a customer service-oriented position. Hey, Wayne, just following up, I had promised that app to you. I want to make sure that you received it. And he goes, oh, man, I saw it, but I didn't get it loaded up. Hey, would you like me to send it again, or would you prefer me just to send you an email?
Yeah.
And I can use that as a personal touch.
Yep.
And cool. Okay, so there was 3 different ways of leveraging watched homes. Now, when we're watching the scores on watched homes, if they start really looking at stuff and then start searching, and that Zap score goes up, that's telling us they're probably thinking.
I mean, they're thinking, so we don't have to, we don't reach out to them and go, you're going to sell?
No.
Are you ready to list? No.
How's it going? I'm doing my job.
We reach out and say hello, and then it starts a conversation. So.
Okay, I'm going to flip it on you now. It's going back to him, the expert. The Sell a Home website, which I think is awesome that they created. Let me start by asking, before you get in and show it, let me start by asking, what are the opportunities in its features to differentiate from that buyer to that seller?
Yeah, so I mean, we have just in the website, we've always said we got to get in there and update, but this Sell a Home website, just allows us to get a little more personal with a seller. So we can have as simple as starting with the banner picture can be different, whatever that means. It can be just of a house you have listed currently, but it might not be a picture of flowers if we're talking about listing a house. It'd be likely a house. And then we just get into the content piece. The first about me, essentially. This is how I work with sellers. This is what I do, my stats, because that person's a potential seller.
So when you're saying about me, I know when we get in there, we've got about me. So you're saying we actually can have multiple about me's.
Yes.
They'll be assigned to the different pages. So I can be very specific about what I'll do for a seller, my commitments to the seller, how I get homes sold in today's market, that type of approach.
Every piece of that, and I'm going to expect that if I go to your Sell a Home site. I don't want to learn, I don't want to know what you do with buyers. I don't want to do, nothing general. I want to know what you would do for me, and that's what we can do on that page.
Hold tight. Yes, we're going to show you where these websites are and how to work with them. So to answer your question, yes, give us just one moment here. I'm glad they're into this.
Yeah, I know. That's cool.
So what are some other opportunities on there for content that maybe call to action or something of that nature?
Yeah, so I mean, the next big piece we can do is blog. So we can blog specifically to sellers or seller-related blogs that would be effective for them to read.
So if we get, thinking of content for blogs, I know we struggle sometimes with content. So I can get very pointed in my blog content on my seller page.
Correct.
I can go research what are the 3 best things a seller can do to add value to their house.
Yep.
Blog about it. I could do how do you start to prep a house for sale? What are the downfalls in contract to close when you're trying to sell a house that you can be preemptive on beforehand?
Yeah.
So those are all kinds of
content.
content.
Keeps track of them. A blog is a running thing, so I can scroll down through and go, oh, this one's interesting. Oh, this, and pick and choose. So all of them would be good, and keeping it up to date would be even better, of course.
Can I use it as a call to action? And what I'm thinking about there is, just like I did with him as an owner, would you see value in being able to have watched homes? Could I write the blog and say, are you staying on top of the valuation in your marketplace?
Yeah,
are you keeping fully informed in the competition, things that are for sale, and the things that have sold, so you know where your market value is in the direction of your market? If not, you should be doing that as a homeowner. If you don't have a way to do it, please reach out to me, and I'll be happy to get you hooked up with an automated system that you'll always know what's going on. I mean, I could do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a little bit more in depth than, if you're looking to sell, call me. But yeah, would this help you? Contact me if it would.
Bingo.
So absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to get to your question now. We're going to show you where they are, how they're edited, and then also Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'll get live with this sell-a-home piece, show you where they are, and just show you how simple it is to create essentially a separate page on your site. So when we click your name in the upper right-hand corner, that just brings up the menu. And when we click on My Website, of course, this brings up the general My Website page, which we've all looked at and we've talked about over and over how important this whole page is. But when I just get down to this content in the general About Me, which we've all looked at, you'll see just to the right of it, you'll see Buy a Home and Sell a Home. And when I click on Sell a Home, if I want to start customizing this page so it's live for the public to see, I just toggle this on and then would click Understood. But then it just gives me a chance to have my own banner. Here's my Sell a Home content module. So what do I do to help, what do I do to sell houses? This is how I work. This is my commitment to you. And then the next piece is where we can, if there's a Sell a Home blog that I've written in the regular blog section, it would automatically post there. So again, this is all just just all tailored to how I work with sellers.
Can you because they asked for both, can you show the other page also?
Oh, sure. I mean, the Buy a Home next to it is exactly the same. But again, this is all exactly, to everything I would do. So you will see that in this one case, Lisa has a blog already, there's a blog in her blog that is geared towards a home buyer, and it automatically showed up on this site. So if on the other side she had a home something about home selling blog, it would have posted. So now she has an active site, an active page that she can send someone to. In this case, she has the Buy a Home ready to go. So but it's that simple to be able to update.
Okay, if you have any other questions on that, let me know. We're going to move to our next segment. You can come back to us, buddy. And that's going to be the Zap on the Move. And this is kind of critical because if you're being proactive, as I was sharing, as we role played, and I'm getting more and more people in here, if you don't turn the thing on every morning or when you have time, you're not going to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And there's no better way of being more effective with your time than those downtimes when you're out driving around. Right?
Correct.
So how would I go about sharing my app? Because that's one thing we promised we're going to tell them.
Yep.
And how would I go about checking my score when I have that downtime?
Okay, so I'm going to go live on my phone, and I'm just going to, before I click into the app, I'm just going to show you. Oh, just bringing the phone up live so you guys can see it.
And it will be here.
There we go. So I'm talking about on the right-hand side, it's light blue Zap. When I click that, this brings up my entire Zap database. So my whole CRM, everybody I've added, all the contacts that we've talked about adding, all the potential sellers, this gives me complete access to them when I have this app open. So when I talk about sharing my personally branded Better Homes and Garden app, so consumer facing, I want to go look for a house, which is what we've talked about to sort of entice some of these people to be, to be in your contact database. If I just simply pull up, Kathleen, and Kathleen, gets pulled up, and I just scroll down through. If I, in the upper right-hand corner, you will see 3 dots. If I just simply click on that, you will see that in the bottom 2 options of that, I can share my mobile app via email or via text. And that is all I have to do to share my consumer-facing Better Homes and Garden, personally branded, I want to look for a house mobile app.
And that all ties back then in because you've got them, You've already put them in.
They're in the system. I shared it. Now if they just pick up their phone and click on that app, you'll know it. If they look at houses on it, you'll know it. And that's just a way for us to keep track of them and know if they're worth reaching out to for us.
Okay, so now I'm sitting around waiting on an appointment. I'm at lunch, just grabbing a quick bite, sitting in my car somewhere. Talk about analyzing those Zap scores.
So when I click, and I'm going to go to my dashboard, so this is what you would see when you first log in, and you might have some tasks. But you'll see at the very bottom, just the first one over says Contacts. If I just click that Contacts tab, this will give me every single contact in my database. And what it does is it automatically ranks them from the highest Zap score to the lowest. So if I have 10 minutes anywhere, and we always have our phone on ourselves, all I have to do is just scroll down this list, and I just get to Tracy, and I go, Tracy, why is she very high? And if I click on Tracy, and this is for buyers as well, but we're kind of talking about the sellers. I can actually just look down through here and determine if Tracy's looked at houses, where she's looked at houses, and then of course it will trigger me to say, oh gee, I better reach out to Tracy.
Scroll back down there a second, where it had some stuff. It talked about, exactly what she's doing.
Yes.
She took a look at this. She viewed 12 homes. Here's the breakdown of where she's searching. Folks, that is intel that when you approach people should give you so much confidence to just call and say, hey, I'm just following up. How are you doing? How can I be of help to you? You don't have to say, hey, I see that you've looked at 12 houses.
Yeah.
You just have to be present and be proactive when they are in the position to make a decision, and this thing's telling you that every day.
Yeah, exactly, there's nothing more exciting to scroll down this list and see one of the potential sellers, FSBO, the past client, the friend, the whoever that you wouldn't expect. Like I added them, but I don't expect them to do anything. And then one day you'll be scrolling down through there, and magically they'll start doing some, they'll have some activity, and it's going to give you a chance to reach out to them before they know they need you, or certainly before they end up somewhere else.
Okay, so you can come back to us. I promised that I would, and was asked about the contact and the follow-up plan.
Yep.
So in our mail call, this is what people are asking about. I'm going to get proactive. Now, how do I make it happen? You got a couple minutes, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Let's go live, show them where the contact entry is again, and where the follow-up plans are.
Yeah,
stored.
so just so you know, of course I can easily add a contact on my phone, if they're right in front of me. But in the database, in the desktop version, if I just hit this plus add, and then just scroll down to the first one, new contact, you'll see I can individually add, or I can bulk import. So it's that simple. And I'm going to show you this a great support tab in a minute to make sure you guys know where that is. When I talk about follow-up plans, very simple, under Manage, Follow-up Plans. These are all the existing follow-up plans. It's very easy to assign one of these to someone. I can adjust these. We don't have time to get into it, but I just want to show you where they are. Very easy to manage those. And then, of course, we did the, by going to my website, that's where we find the, either the buy a home or the sell a home. So, those three pieces are kind of what we talked about.
And the follow-up plans.
Yeah, yep, right here, just, these are where...
Oh, so right there, okay.
Yeah, these are where they all are, and we just grab one of these when we know it's right for us or right for one of our contacts,
Gotcha.
and assign it.
Gotcha.
And then I'll just end with
definitely.
Just this support button on the left-hand side. Anytime you click that, there's a full, full gamut there of you guys getting, just support. But this support center at the top just brings up. Oh, figures it would time out on me. But that brings up the community, the video library. If you guys just want to go watch 1 to 4 minute videos on either what we did today or anything else.
Okay, guys. Well, I hope today has helped you out, and you can come back. There you go. Has helped you out, and we tried to bring a little content with a little different twist. Getting you, the feedback we were getting. How do I get people to want to be in Zap? And I hope that has helped you in a manner that you can now go out there and engage people to create that desire for them to be a part of the Zap platform.
Yep. Cool.
So with that, save the date. Next Zap-TV is May 9th. It'll be 2 p.m. Eastern, always Eastern time. And get that on your calendar, share it with your friends. And again, this will be recorded and available on this site within 48 hours of the end of the show. So for my co-host, Wayne Weaver, I'm
Thank you.
Dan Elzer. I want to thank you guys for taking your time, and we'll see you next month on Zap TV.
Thank you.